Great to see everybody today on our IECA regional side here. Appreciate everybody joining the call here. Very excited today to have Union College joining us as per email invite. We actually have kind of a unique opportunity, two presenters that cover both of the regions that all of our members are situated in. First of all, Rachel McNeil, introducing her first. She's actually a 2018 grad from Union, digital media and psychology. And it looks like, as I was reading things too, Rachel, you've obviously spent some time in admissions as a tour guide, doing other things before officially starting as an assistant dean. And we also have Vernon Castillo joining us. He's been with Union over 18 years now, so a lot of institutional knowledge we'll get for Vernon. He handles the Michigan area as well as other states. He has a background, looks like a bachelor's from Bowdoin and also a master's degree from the University of Albany. So very excited to have them joining us today. And without further ado, I will turn the presentation over. You're both welcome to share the screen. You have full controls, and we're very excited to hear the things going on at Union.
Great. Thank you so much, Jason. And thank you all so much for having us. It's wonderful to be here and share a little bit about Union. So we figured we'd go through kind of a really brief overview of our campus, just to give you a general sense of what we're all about. I'll tell you a little bit about my experience as a student and now as an alum, and then Vernon will touch on our combined degree programs at the end of our program or our little presentation. And they'll have lots of time to answer questions, so be thinking about those as we go through. But I'd like to get a sense before I jump into our actual, quick presentation. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident, how much do you already know about Union? 1 being, I know you are Union College and that's it. And 10 being, I've visited campus, I've been to your counselor programs, I know a lot. If you can give me like on your hands, scale of 1 to 10. 5, 3, okay, 3, 7, 4, okay. All right, so we got a mix. So you have mostly some general idea about Union. Hopefully we can give you some more detail and then answer specific questions that you have about us as well. So just to give you a quick introduction, in a little bit more detail of who I am and where I'm coming from in this. I started at Union in 2014 as a student, graduated in 2018 with a liberal arts degree, and I've had just an amazing experience at Union. It makes my job very easy. Union College, we're located in Schenectady, New York. If you can spell it for me, I'll give you an extra point. Schenectady is about 3 hours north of New York City, about 3 hours west of Boston. So we're located nicely in the capital region of New York State. It's a really beautiful area with fantastic resources across disciplines. Union, we consider ourselves to be liberal arts, and we offer 4 ABET accredited engineering programs. So we have a great balance of the STEM and the humanities, liberal arts, social sciences. And we have 2,200 students. So we're a tight-knit, small campus community, but as you'll see, there's a lot of resources here, and we have a big school spirit for our small campus. You can see from our photos here, we do get all 4 seasons, as we've been discussing. A little bit about our academic culture at Union. We're a really interdisciplinary place with the liberal arts and the engineering. As I mentioned, you're going to get a great combination of disciplines. And for me, this was really helpful because I came in as a very undecided student to Union and had a lot of questions and a lot of interests. So I was able to have the flexibility to try new things, explore what I was interested in. And I kind of stumbled into a unique position where I had found interests in several disciplines that all intersected. So I fell in love with computer science, digital art, and film studies, and then realized very quickly that I would have to pick a major and didn't really know which direction to go in. But what Union offers students is the ability to pursue those intersections. So for me, this took the form of an organizing theme major. So being able to create my own program of study using classes that already existed at Union to create this digital media major, as Jason mentioned. And this flexibility was really helpful for me because it allowed me to focus really specifically on what I loved, but also I was able to understand how my discipline interacted with those around it. So getting the full liberal arts experience to be able to take all of that in. It resulted in some fantastic research and internship opportunities. You can see this photo over here I threw in there. That's my senior thesis project. It's interactive data visualization, looking at how I represented some of my data from my research, and being able to collaborate with faculty from different departments as well was really instrumental in that. And, my story, yes, it's a little unique. Not many students create their own major or go for the full digital media. But what I love is that the interdisciplinary experience is not very unique. As you can see, 75% of students study more than one thing. We're very well known for crossing and kind of blending the boundaries of STEM and the arts and humanities. And I know that that's a very hallmark experience at Union. The other, academic focus I like to talk about are the immersive experiences. This comes down to study abroad, internships, and research, if you're just trying to put some names to these experiences. And I'll give you some quick stats for some context. So about 80% of students do faculty mentored research, about 85% do at least one internship, and about 60% study abroad. 70% of our engineers study abroad, which is far above the national average for engineers. And I think all of these experiences are very helpful and engaging to students. They take a lot of fantastic opportunities to be able to explore these areas. But one of the reasons this is possible is because Union has a trimester system. So instead of 2 15-week semesters, Union offers 3 10-week trimesters. And I know for me specifically, with creating my own major, this opened up so many doors to be able to experiment, try new classes, and also to be able to adapt my schedule to something that would allow for a mini term abroad over one of our winter breaks, to be able to do a 2-term independent study research project that was collaborating with a professor in the psychology department. And so I think the reason that so many of our students are able to have these meaningful experiences is not only that trimester system, but just this focus on the immersive experiences and what that can do for students. I threw in another photo here of one of my projects from a digital aesthetics class, so a graphic design based class. We had to basically create products, and we were given the prompt of, you are creating the packaging for a coffee company. How would you create that? And so having to think through all of the different, features of information that needs to be present and the type of branding was a really helpful immersive experience, because that is something that as a designer you do all the time. And as somebody who was kind of interested in that world and really understanding how the work that we were doing in the lab could apply to the real world or to a profession, to different careers, and in many ways, it was a really helpful experience. And there are experiences like that built into the curriculum in addition to these external experiences. I'll touch briefly on the faculty at Union as well, as we kind of transition into the community and the life of our place. For our faculty, they are world-renowned in their field, doing cutting-edge research, and they've chosen Union in the same way that our students have. When you come to Union as a student, you realize very quickly that faculty are like colleagues, they are mentors, and they are looking out for you and excited to engage with you as a Union student. For me, this was really awesome. I came from a really small high school with great teachers, but getting to interact with faculty on a more personal level and being able to really learn from their expertise and kind of one-on-one mentorship was huge. The whole reason, honestly, that I was able to create my own program of study. This is Barbara Pytel here. She's a professor in the biology department. I took a class with her in my first year at Union. I ran into her in our integrated science and engineering complex a few weeks ago, and she still remembered my name, my major, and when I graduated. And I had not spoken to her since. There's these connections that last across the years and allow students to really feel connected to our campus. I know for me, the mentorships came in many different ways. One of my faculty advisors, Fernando Oriana in our digital art department, and Nick Webb in our computer science department, were again instrumental in helping me create my major, but also supporting me through my research and being able to provide resources and ways to explore, and served as references for job applications and internship applications as well throughout my time at Union. I also think that the faculty are a lot of what alums remember about this place and feel connected to Union in that way as well. In terms of the campus climate and the culture at Union, when people ask me to describe the typical Union student, I like to say that students are passionate and involved. This is a campus where it is really easy to dive into whatever it is that you love and to try new things. But at the end of the day, there's always something going on this campus, even during a pandemic when our limitations are many. And being able to dive into the campus culture and get involved in lots of ways allows students to figure out their social scenes and find a place for them and a home. For me, that took form in the Catholic Students Association. And it was something that I just joined on a whim in my first year because they offered dinners every Sunday night, and that sounded pretty good to me. And by the time I graduated, I had found a community of people who just loved to share a meal together every week, and people that I still am in touch with today because I had that connection with them. And I know for some students, this takes place in the Minerva houses, which is something that's a little bit unique to Union. Those of you that are familiar with Union will probably remember this program. The Minerva houses kind of straddle the boundaries of the academic life at Union and the social life, and they create a space on campus for really intentional community. You're sorted into the Minerva houses as a first year, and our faculty and staff belong to the houses as well. So you kind of have this community within a community that you can jump into, join the house council, live there as an upperclassman, participate in programming, and basically put on events that you want to see on this campus. Most of our students live on campus all 4 years, 92% do. And so this is a highly residential campus where students are staying here on the weekends, they're staying here in the evenings, and they're really involved in what there is going on across campus. I know for me, this was huge as somebody who didn't want to go home on the weekends and wasn't a commuter. And it was really great to help kind of immerse myself in the campus community and feel really very much a part of this. It really is a place with a lot of joy. There is a lot of great things going on at Union and a lot of enjoyment and fun. It's a great balance of the academic rigor of a highly rated institution and the collaboration and the fun and the ability to try new things without fear of failure. That really kind of encapsulates the Union community for me. Lastly, I'll leave you on just a little bit of a screenshot of where our alums go after they graduate. You know, we have a wonderful connection with a fantastic alumni network. I was just looking on the Union College Alumni Network last night because I was curious if there was anyone in the Capital Region doing artwork that I didn't know about. And so I was looking to network with people in this area. And it's a network of over 13,000 alums, where they have indicated that Union students can connect with them directly and ask them questions about their careers and what they've experienced during and since their time at Union. Alums I've found have been really connected to this place, and I think it all goes back to that community and the fantastic bonds that are created here when you're a student. I also appreciate that there's so much opportunity for professional development throughout those immersive experiences, throughout that immersive classroom experience as well, that allows students the preparation to jump into full-time jobs or graduate programs right after graduation. One of my good friends at Union was a biomedical engineer. She did research for 3 of her 4 years at Union, and she's completing her PhD at Columbia University in biomedical engineering and had plenty of hands-on experience to help prepare her for that new journey that she's been taking. And I always appreciate that whatever you choose to do right after you graduate, I find that Union students are well prepared to tackle any challenge, to be adaptable. We've learned this year more than many that the need to be adaptable in your place of work, in your life, is really important. And Union really teaches students to take advantage of that and to be able to collaborate, lead, communicate in many different ways so that you're not preparing for one career in that life after graduation. You're preparing for that next step and the next step after that, and that career that might not even exist yet 10 years down the line. Now with that, I'll pause. I'm gonna pass it over to Vernon to talk a little bit about our combined degree programs, since there's a couple special things that we have going on with Union in our admissions office.
Thank you, Rachel. And I think one of the things that Rachel highlighted is that we do offer a lot for a school our size, whether a student's interested in engineering, whether they're interested in economics, whether they're interested in theater, or all of the above. We have those opportunities available for students, and I'll talk to you about a couple more opportunities that we have, 2 pre-professional programs. So the first one is a 3+3 law program. So it's a partnership that we have between us, Union College, and Albany Law School, in which students have the opportunity to complete their Union degree in 3 years and then proceed to Albany Law School. Students in this program are referred to as law scholars, and some of the program benefits include a student's able to earn either a Bachelor's of Art or a Bachelor's of Science. They're also able to take a 4th class free every term at Union. They're also taking their first year writing preceptorial course and their sophomore research seminar at the honors level. And then finally, students will have an opportunity to complete an internship working in collaboration with Albany Law School, which they will receive credit for. Students in the program do not need to finish in 3 years and can enroll at Union for their 4th year and still gain admissions to Albany Law School. This is especially true if a student decides to major in engineering. In order to complete the program in 3 years, however, students will do so through advanced credit from their high school experiences, either through AP, IB, or college coursework that they've completed. The use of the aforementioned 4th course that they take at Union free. Summer courses, students are able to take 3 pre-approved courses at other colleges outside of Union. Once in the program, students must maintain a 3.4 overall GPA. Students will also take the law school admissions test or LSAT exam during their 3rd year at Union. Continuing to Albany Law School will be contingent on their GPA, that 3.4 GPA, and their LSAT scores, which the law school, Albany Law School, also uses as part of their merit scholarship criteria. Students who are interested in this 3+3 Accelerated Law Program can apply through either the Common Application or Coalition Application, and the deadline for this program is January 15th. Applications for this specific program are first reviewed by us at Union, and the strongest candidates are then forwarded to Albany Law School, where their staff will review those folders. Even though Union is test optional, this program, as well as the medical one that I'll talk about after the law program, are not test optional. So for this program, we look for SAT scores above a 1290 or ACT scores above a 28. For students who are admitted into this program, they'll hear from us in April, and then they have until May 1st to decide if they want to enroll and become part of this 3+3 Accelerated Law Program. And just to give you an idea of last year's stats, for the fall class of 2020, we received 26 applications for this program, of which we sent over to Albany Law School 18 students for them to do a second review of. They admitted and offered admissions to all 18 students. And then we had 1 student who chose this particular program and is now a first-year student at Union, enrolled under this 3+3 Accelerated Law Program partnership. The second program that we have, and this is our more popular option, and I think because of COVID-19, because of the pandemic that we're all living in right now, this year we actually saw a jump in the number of applications for this program, about 100 additional applications compared to last year. So this program, the Leadership in Medicine program, is a partnership that we have between Union College, Clarkson University's Capital Region campus, so they have a satellite campus in Schenectady, and then Albany Medical College. Students in this particular program are referred to as LIM students, and some of the program benefits include 3 degrees in 8 years, so a bachelor's of science, a master's of science, or a master's in business administration with the focus on healthcare management, and then the MD or Doctor of Medicine. And the healthcare management piece is one of the things that is unique to our program, and certainly something that students should be interested in because it is incorporated and integrated into that academic experience. Students have a unique ID major, and one of the things that Rachel highlighted is that even for this specific group, we still want them to have opportunities and experiences that extend beyond the sciences. So students in this program will also do an ID major in a humanities or social science. So for example, students will graduate with a bachelor's of science plus an ID major in Spanish, for example, or a bachelor's of science degree in chemistry and an ID major in music. So again, for this population, we still want them to have that immersive experience that extends beyond just their science courses. Students in this program also are required to study abroad. So we want them to have that international experience, just like any other student would at Union. The big piece of this program that differs from the law program is that as long as a student maintains a 3.5 while at Union, they do not have to take the MCAT exam. So that piece is not part of this program. And why that's important to note is that it gives students in this program opportunities to do other things that extend beyond, studying for the MCAT exam, like any other student who would be if they were considering going on and applying to medical school. So for example, they could study abroad, they can pursue clinical experiences, they could do research, they can also be a student athlete. We do have many student athletes who are in the leadership in medicine program. They also have a rewarding peer experience because typically this program, we have about 15 students who participate every year in it. So they really get to know each other well. They travel all 4 years together and they go on to Albany Medical College as a group. That being said, we also want and make sure that students are able to connect with other students outside of their cohort in the leadership and medicine program. So we don't want to create a clique just because they are in this specialized program. But that is one of the things that students will talk about, the experiences that they really enjoy having those interactions with students in their program, having an advisor who is just dedicated to them and providing them with that additional layer of support. So for this program, students can again apply through either the common application or coalition application. The deadline for this program is November 1st. It is not a binding early decision deadline, nor is it an early action deadline. It's just an earlier deadline because of we do the initial screening and then the strongest applicants move on to Albany Med, where they will then, their committee there will look and do a second review on these students. And actually that, as we speak, that's happening right now. So with this program, like with the law program, test scores are required. So in terms of the SAT, Albany Medical College wants to see a 1410 or better, or on the ACT, a 30 or better. The other thing that Albany Medical College wants to see is that the student has had some sort of clinical experience, even if virtual, because of COVID. Obviously, students are not able to have those in-person experiences, but they just want to make sure that the student is genuinely interested in medicine and that they've done something along those lines. It could be simply attending a conference on medicine, learning more about healthcare management. So, the medical college really doesn't say that they have to do anything specific. They just want to make sure that they've had some form of clinical experience prior to applying to the leadership in medicine program. So just to give you an idea for this program, so decisions are mailed in April and students have until May 1st to decide if they want to enroll and become part of the leadership in medicine program. So for the fall 2020, we had 266 students who applied just to the leadership in medicine program. We forward over to Albany Medical College 194 of those applicants. So most of the students are qualified strong. And so we're sending a majority of those applications over to Albany Medical College. Of the 194 students that we sent over, Albany Medical College, one of the differences between this program and the law program is that there's an interview component, which the medical college manages. So they interviewed 66 students. Out of the 66 students that they interviewed, they offered 22 students a seat for the specific program to get to that magic number of 15 students per year. So that's a little bit about 2 additional opportunities that as you guide the students that you're working with, that 2 options for students who may be interested in these more direct pre-professional opportunities.